What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful day, and this will be another upload here on the potential for major winter storm John. It has yet to be named, but I do believe it will be named here. So this will be the second system to bring in a wintry mess for millions just before New Year's here. Except this won't be like Ivy. This actually will bring in snow on New Year's Day and even after New Year's Day. So we're looking at a potential for not only a big snowstorm, but mainly an ice storm here. This could be a dangerous ice storm to bring up to an inch or more of ice for some people here, just between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So looking at dangerous post New Year's travel for a few people here in a few states here. So definitely looking at quite the dangerous traveling conditions for some people across all the way from Texas up to areas like Pennsylvania. So very widespread threat for dangerous icy and not only icy but snowy roads. But as well, we also have to focus on the potential for some severe weather for areas to the south of this snow and ice. So we'll be looking at who can get severe weather, what you can expect throughout your first minutes of 2021, whether it's snow, ice, or rain. We'll be looking at the timing as well and exactly who can get hit the hardest by the ice, rain, or snow. So if you want to know all this, be sure to watch the whole video and like it if you really enjoyed it, and if you want to recommend to any other people as well. If you really like my content like this, be sure to subscribe. I really would appreciate it. And as well, if you have any questions on your local forecast for your area, be sure to let me know, and I will do my best to answer them as I get a lot of comments and really obviously have some stuff to do throughout the day. But hope you guys really enjoy the video, and let's go ahead and get to it here. So let's now exit this screen here, shall we? And let's go and check a look now at the National Weather Service here. So as of right now, we have a few updates compared to last time I actually uploaded here. So now we have a few winter watches across now, extending across the South Central, and even a few winter watches now as far north as Pennsylvania here. So we do have very widespread alerts now going across the country every single time we get a new update here. So windstorm warnings still maintained for Texas, and they continue to become more widespread now, getting near the San Antonio region here. As well, we have a few winter weather advisories just outside the Fort Worth and Dallas metro area, and I do expect that to stay out of Dallas metro because really you guys can kind of be staying with that flooding. But I wouldn't be shocked if they get added into the winter weather advisory. I just doubt it with the ways things are looking at. But as well to the east, with a few flash flood watches, and we're looking at very heavy rain with this system here. Potential for some slight severe weather across this whole area from Alabama, Texas, to the south and to the areas as far north as the Ohio Valley. So we're looking at not only millions that get impacted by snow and ice, but millions that get impacted by the rain, including me here. So not going to be a fun countdown when it comes to the clock and the Times Square, as it will be quite rainy for much of the eastern United States here. But of course, shockingly and weirdly in a 2020 matter, the heaviest of the snow from potential John will be actually in the Texas and Mexico border. We'll be seeing that heavy snow and more longer lasting snow. Western watches now extend all the way up to areas like Jefferson, Joseph, St. Joseph, Missouri, Kansas City, as well, a big city, Topeka, as well under something, all the way down to areas like Oklahoma City have now been added under a winter weather advisory. So watches, advisories, and warnings maintained for wintry mess across the South Central. And I do expect those winter watches and warnings to extend more north into areas like Chicago, Milwaukee, and more to the east, of course. So I do expect that by tonight. And of course, really watching what we're seeing there up in the northeast, as we will be seeing as well, shockingly some ice from the system all the way as far north as Pennsylvania and New York here. Looking at for some potential ice all the way up to Pennsylvania. So really, this is the main system what we have right now. Right now, the snow's really into Mexico right now, but that will expect to be go north as we get into now tomorrow on our New Year's Eve. So let's go take a look at what we have right now. This is the next few hours. Mainly that snow is sticking around there, portions of Mexico and far western Texas. Could be very widespread. Could be very limited, not too widespread. However, the rain with that main low pressure will bring in some severe weather across areas like northern Louisiana, portions of Arkansas and Texas, and even the tip of Oklahoma. So that's kind of what we have at the moment, the next few hours as well. So the snow is far to the west of that main low pressure, but the nice cold there will allow for that remaining moisture from that low pressure to convert into snow here. And this is now early tomorrow morning. As we now go later on now, this is now by, let's see, this is now by 8 a.m. Eastern or 8 a.m. Central Time. This is still the morning. That rain continues to stick around here now, starting to get those showers developing into Dallas. A few showers there in the Houston area and Corpus Christi. But really, these showers will be very limited. Not looking at any tornadoes at the moment here. It will just be some heavy rain, maybe some slight thunderstorms. Just not really looking at a tornado threat. However, that snow starts to become more widespread now and heavier as it takes advantage of those cold air. The really interesting thing is we're going to really watch some of these thunderstorms to convert into ice as that cold front finally reaches its moisture in that cold front. So a lot of that rain could convert into ice getting into now mid-afternoon into New Year's Eve. So this is now by, let's see here. This is now by, I got to do my conversion here. This is now by 5 p.m. Central Time here into New Year's Eve, so that rain's become more widespread now into areas like Oklahoma and areas like Arkansas. Then we gotta really watch some of these rain showers in Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas by the late afternoon and New Year's Eve will start to convert into some freezing rain. Those temperatures will drop rapidly, so expect some of the freezing rain to start converting all the way up to areas like the Ozarks. But really, the main system right now will be in Texas at the moment here. So we can be seeing that really heavy snow there in the Mexico border with a dangerous ice starting to develop there in the rain-snow mixed line here. But as well, we'll be seeing still some severe weather across areas like Texas and Oklahoma here on New Year's Eve evening. I'm now getting now into, this is now by midnight Eastern Time, but 11 p.m. Central. So that system really moves quite quickly to the northeast. Those rain showers continue to move outside of the Dallas metro. So we're starting to see the severe weather starting to now get more severe here. Potential for some isolated tornadoes across southern Oklahoma and northern Texas there is where we can possibly see some severe weather. However, on the back side of that low pressure, we have that frozen precipitation there, that heavy snow on the southern half, southwestern half, with that ice starting to develop across this whole region here now into areas like western Oklahoma, western Texas. I mean, it's going to be a big mess here. And now by past midnight, this system moves rapidly to the northeast here and to the north. A few snow showers continuing by early or by kind of, I guess, mid to late morning to on New Year's Day. Now it's going more to the north here. This is now by 11 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. Central. Then we start to see, this is according to the HRRR. We're starting to see some ice, freezing rain developing areas like Springfield, Missouri, just south of Jefferson City, and areas like the, I guess you could say, near the border of Arkansas is really where we'll start to see those rain showers convert into freezing rain and sleet here. So it's not going to look too severe at the moment, but wait till things really get closer now into now New Year's Day. This is now by, let's see, this is now by midnight. This is now by midnight for these areas in Central Time. That ice becomes quickly more widespread now, getting those up to sleet and freezing rain as far as areas like just south into areas like St. Louis, just out of Springfield, Illinois. We're going to start seeing that freezing rain developing into southern Illinois. So things start to get interesting here. A few now snow showers developing on the back side of that low pressure, of course. So, but the bad thing about the system, the ice will come first. So it'll be frozen. Everything will be frozen. And then the snow comes. So whenever that snow comes down, the ice will help make it accumulate so quickly. So totals of snow will be a lot higher in these areas than if there was no ice. As we now get later into New Year's morning, things they go down. They go downhill quickly here. Now ice all the way to areas like the Indianapolis region, all the way down to Dayton, Ohio. So we're looking at a widespread threat for ice, not just for the South Central and not just for the Midwest here. On the backside, of course, we'll be seeing that very heavy snow for areas like Kansas City there, Jefferson City, St. Joseph, St. Louis, all the way to areas like Wichita. So let's say we have a half an inch there in Kansas City. We'll possibly see that really heavy snow hours after the ice stops. So we're going to be seeing ice on the ground. That snow's going to come really hard. So whenever it comes down, it will stick almost immediately at this point because it's basically a skating rink for some people, for some areas. and just things just continue to go down here. There's that very heavy snow in Kansas City there right after the ice, really moving to areas like Joplin, Missouri, and moving to areas now into Springfield, and now it's starting to really go downhill in Columbus, Missouri. Starting to go downhill now in areas like northern Illinois. Eastern Iowa could be included as well in areas just east of Iowa City into Davenport, and of course a few of these rain showers there in the Ohio Valley, like Indianapolis, Columbus, Cincinnati. You guys can convert into maybe some freezing rain here, but the HFR only goes 18 hours out here. So here's looking now at the NAM 3 kilometer, and this is of course what they have now getting into around New Year's Day or early New Year's Day in the morning. There's all those nice freezing rain really developing. The rain showers to the south, so you don't see any snow. It's just freezing rain. It's snow. It's rain or freezing rain. There's no snow to the north. There's nothing at all, and that's not. This is quite a rare system here. It's if it's frozen, it's going to be just freezing rain, not sleet, not snow. So typically you see snow to the north of this and then rain to the south, like a typical snowstorm. However, this will be an ice storm. An ice storm, definitely. And there will be some snow on the backside of the system, but snowfall totals will be really limited into areas like the Ohio Valley, into areas like the Midwest and Plains. The only time we'll be seeing actual snow will be Texas and Oklahoma, which is why we'll be seeing those higher totals in those areas, because by the time it passes those areas, it's going to be snow. But then it starts to really take advantage and convert into mainly ice here. So we're looking at a big ice storm here. As we're going to get later now into now let's see, this is now 48 hours out. So this is January 1st. This is around mid-afternoon, January 1st. The ice continues to become a big factor into Detroit now, into areas of Cleveland, into now Fort Wayne, Chicago now getting ice again. And there's that snow on the backside of the system, bringing some snow now by tomorrow, or by, I guess you say, Friday afternoon. And there's that snow. The only snow will be on the backside, not on the north, not to the east, just the backside of that low pressure. So areas like Chicago, Detroit, Columbus, you guys will struggle to get that snow, because by the time it reaches your area, it'll be rain or it'll be ice. The snow will start to really diminish. It'll kind of really stop and fall apart by the time it gets to northern Illinois. But even some ice, some freezing rain as far east as Pennsylvania. It'll be very limited though. Maybe a quarter of an inch, which is still a ton of ice there. But look, now we get into now close to January 2nd. That snow continued to fall down there in Illinois, potentially Milwaukee. So it's going to be a very weird system here. We have not seen too many systems like this that we're looking at right now. This is like an actual ice storm. So ice storm warnings, are they possible? We'll see. We'll definitely see. But in Texas, the ice totals will be quite high, up to a quarter of an inch. Sorry, not a quarter of an inch. To a half an inch there, or even 6/10 of an inch as well. So we're looking at very high totals of ice, and that'll be kind of in the central half of Texas there. So outside Austin, outside San Antonio, outside El Paso. So we're kind of looking at more rural areas to get around up to over half an inch of ice here. This will be causing potential power outages and very icy conditions. And this ice will come down on New Year's Eve. However, in the other areas like the Midwest and the Ozarks, you guys get your ice on New Year's Day or New Year's morning. And they're going to be a lot more severe. Like I did say, there'll be more snow than ice in Texas and Oklahoma, but there'll be more ice than snow when it gets to the Midwest here in the plains. So looking at up to an inch of ice right there, just out of Kansas City, just north of Joplin. So around the Kansas-Missouri border, we're looking at up to over an inch of ice here, and that's just crazy. That'll cause extreme power outages, impossible travel conditions, because the ice will not only be there'll be snow on this ice as well. So it'll be an inch of ice, possibly a few inches of snow. So it'll be an absolute dangerous scenario here, possibly an Ice-mageddon. All the way down to areas like Indianapolis, we can get up to less than 1/10 of an inch here. Areas like possibly up there near Jefferson City, around just up to half inch of ice here. So we're looking at some very dangerous conditions here when it comes to this whole area here. But let's now move later on in here. As we get now later into areas like January 2nd, the ice continues up to around 7/10 of an inch there in areas like potentially South Bend, Indiana, potentially up areas like Detroit. 2/10 of an inch is possible. So definitely not something you want to see at all when it comes to pre or post New Year's. So the system starts on New Year's Eve. So there's going to be pre-traveling conditions at risk for Texas and Oklahoma. But then after the storm moves more north, there will be post-traveling conditions threats for areas like the Midwest and areas like the plains after New Year's. Snow, it'll be very limited though. You're gonna be actually some areas can see more more ice than snow in some of these areas here. But look at the highest totals continue to increase for Texas. They continue to increase up to 2 feet. 2 feet of snow is possible for far southwestern Texas. That's not something you see at all. Not only will there be 2 feet in southwestern Texas, everywhere else, not even close to a foot of snow. So it's absolutely crazy what's going to happen. I did say the reason why Texas will see the most amount of snow is because when it's in Texas, it'll be mainly snow in this whole region. But areas like north, great ice, areas east of that will get rain. By the time it moves more north, it starts to convert more and more to ice. So that's kind of this is why this storm's so interesting. Up to now 2 to 4 inches there in areas like near Lubbock, but up to 20 inches there just east of El Paso, of course, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. Guys are going to be missing out there. Snow totals are going to be really on the edge there for Oklahoma City. You guys are kind of right on that snow ice mix with even the rain mix there. Maybe 1 to 2 inches there for Oklahoma City, but as it moves north, totals will be very scattered. Maybe 4 inches there for Chicago, maybe a trace for Columbus. Totals keep increasing for Kansas City now, up to possibly 4 to 7 inches, and that keeps increasing because the ice will keep increasing. So the more ice, the easier the accumulation will be. So it's not that going to be an extended amount of time of snow. It's just going to be there's going to be more ice, which means a better chance for accumulation immediately. That's why we're seeing so high totals there with very few hours of snow in these areas, because whenever it comes down, it will stick. Once snow, if it comes down, it'll stick. It really just, if it's heavy snow, like expected, it'll stick super duper fast. A few inches per hour is possible here. So definitely looking at some very dangerous conditions here, all the way up to possibly an inch or two in areas like Pennsylvania and West Virginia, because as well, you guys up there will get some ice as well. So this is kind of really not snowfall-wise all over Mexico to areas like Pennsylvania here. So hope you guys all enjoy the video. Stay safe, your wonderful holidays, and I'll have another video out later tomorrow. Bye, guys.